How's it going? So we are here today to see if the Meris LVX Modular Stereo Delay can get anywhere close to the amazing Walrus Audio Meraki Stereo Analog Delay. Amazing is not a word that is part of the title of either Walrus or Meraki pedal. I just put it in there because it is. And let's be honest, so is the LVX. It's a beast, it's a monster. It does so many wonderful things. But can it do the Meraki? Can it do the stereo analog delay? So before we get there, and I'll show you how close I've come to this preset or the setting and how to get there, let's quick run down what you're seeing on the Meraki. I know that you can tell the knobs. I have the feedback knobs almost all the way up. Kind of rolled them all the way up and then dialed them back like a little bit. So all the way up, dialed them back a little bit. There you go. The mix is set to about 2-ish or so. Time is straight up and down, and both the tone and the mod are straight up. You can see the way this halo is vibrating to tell you what the mod rate is, and there's the tap tempo. Now, so you know, the division left switch is all the way to the right. The feedback path is set to ping-pong. The mod and time is set all the way to sync, and that really only matters when you adjust the mod and time knobs. Then the division right switch is set all the way to the left. And that provides you with this wonderful setting that tends to go on and on and on, which I love and did that on purpose. So here's the setting. Just let that go, let it wash. I love it. So I have this set to be true bypass. So as soon as I turn this off, it shuts out. Don't worry, the signal is still there. See, told you. So if you're wondering, I am playing through a G&L S500 going into a 29 pedals Una like I always do. I do have a Montreal Assembly 2 positive right after the Una. It's a stereo overdriver, and I have the gains all the way to 0, but I'm using it just kind of as a little bit of a boost to get a little bit extra volume going into these two pedals. But the clean tone, so to speak, is this. Okay, back to the Meraki. Beautiful sounds are still going on in there. Just real quick. Okay, got that in your head. Now let's check out the LVX setting. How did I do? I'm not even going to pretend to think that I got it exactly there. I didn't. I got it pretty close, and I'll be honest, I haven't dug into the LVX enough to really get a true ping-pong out of it the way that I want. if you have figured a way to do it, if you've created that, please, in the comments, let me know. I'd love to know how. Oh, which, by the way, let's take a second. Like, subscribe, comment. There we go. That's been done. Okay, so let's check this Meraki setting again that I made on the LVX and titled it Meraki. Oh, look at that. And I'm just going to do a quick hit, and that way you can kind of hear the difference in the different attacks on the two delays. Sorry, I'm like thinking as I'm going. Going back to the Meraki actually, because I want you to hear that. So just a quick. All right. Now on this, and it is different. Yeah, there's no pretending that it's not the same. Or sorry, there's no pretending that it is the same. It is different. But as you go, the way that I have this set, it's kind of, it washes out to be about the same. So again, with more of a picking pattern. Let's get the feedback all the way down real quick. Back to here, just to hear it again. Alright, so let's check out something else. We know that I guess the delay pattern is different. This is the Meraki is being a true ping-pong, taking it, bouncing it back and forth, and the way I have it set on the LVX is more of a gentle and softly lobbing it back and forth with a little bit of play in the middle. Real quick, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump out of the setting, go back into it, so all my knobs go back to exactly where they were set, like the feedback knob. So again, but the syncopation is there. The syncopation that I was getting in the Meraki is there, so keep that in mind. All right. All right, let's listen to the tone of the two and see what you guys kind of hear. Let's go back to the Meraki, the actual Meraki. And I will just strum out a chord, and you can kind of hear the tone of, you know what, to do this right, let's make it all wet. So I'll take this, make that all wet, and let's just hear this chord. Listen to the tone of that decay, the modulation. What's it saying to you? Alright, now on the LVX, let's make that all the way wet and the same chord. Now the feedback isn't nearly as high on that one. Let's get that higher. Maybe just a tad back from all the way, and hit that again, see what we get. Nice. Now back to the Meraki. How about that modulation speed? How are we hearing that? How's that sound? Now here, all the way wet. How about the modulation speed on this one? What do you guys think? It's different, but it's close. Why don't we walk through on the LVX on how to get this sound for any of you who have it. And knowing that the Meraki is a all analog, it's a bucket brigade based item here, pedal on the, what is it, the MN3005 chips, has 8 of them in here. Oh, obviously to me, the starting point on this Meraki setting was to do the BBD sound. But I found that it had a little bit too much inherent noise built into it, and I didn't like what it was giving me. So, here, I'll show you what I mean. You can already hear it a little bit in the high end there, little pitch. Here, let's get back to this setting. Sorry about that. Here it is. Just a little bit too much noise, and I didn't like it. So what I did, going back to it there, is I put it in digital. It kind of took that that high-end hiss out and smoothed it out a little bit. So it gave us this. But that's not all. There were some other things. I had to make it a little bit darker. I had to put some modulation in there. So let me just walk this step by step so you guys can do this yourself. Oh, put the structure on this delay as standard. Half speed at off. The type is digital. The right division is a dotted quarter and the left division is an eighth. In this instance, the time is set to 85 BPM, but that's because that's kind of where the Meraki is. Delay 2, damping is a stock. So the modulation I put at about 55%, crossfeed at about 83%. And what do? We changed the feedback to be 100, back it off one, so 98.4. Let's save that real quick. All right, 98.4%. Do you see what I just did? Double tapped, or tapped it, hold it, tap it again, save it, the end. Okay, the dynamics. This kind of helped me bring the volume of the tone up a bit because it needed to be richer and a little more saturated. So I used a compressor as the type, put it in the post location, so it really just kind of affected the trails. Threshold here is at about 21 dB, ratio of 6:1, gain set at about 3.8 dB with a medium attack. Slow release and a mix of about 83%. The preamp, I did tube. I love the tube preamp in this, and it just made sense to me, especially with a analog pedal here. The location on that is the pre and dry, so it is affecting everything that's going into it. It's affecting my dry signal as well. Gain at about 25%, level at about 14%. Filter. Now this was the thing that set this exactly the way I needed it to be. It was a little bit too bright without the filter on. Bringing the filter in and kind of doing some adjustments really made the LVX setting a little bit darker to match what the Meraki was doing. So to do that, I did a state variance type filter. spread at about 54%. Post location frequency on this is about 876 hertz, and that's important because it's telling the filter what to filter. The topology is a low pass, and the resonance is at 2.5. The pitch is off. The modulation is off, actually. And the mix here is set to about 30%, 28% or so. Now, I find it interesting that I didn't use any modulation on the modulate block, because all the modulation you're hearing is coming from the modulation in the delay. So that's the setting that I created to give us close to this. Put that mix back up here, and let's hear it again. So thanks again for listening to this and checking it out. I really appreciate you. A lot of this has come out to be based on requests from viewers like you. I have a little bit of a list, and I just write down what you ask for and get to it, and get to put it out and put it out there in the world and kind of hope it helps somebody. So thanks again for this recommendation. I wish you well. Peace.